Good morning and welcome back to Football League World TV. You've had a few days off on the channel, but we are back this morning for the EFL betting show. It is, of course, the international break this week, but there are still plenty of fixtures in League One and League Two this weekend. For those who haven't watched the EFL betting show before, we select 4 different selections: a banker, an accumulator, a value bet, and a wild card. I am joined by Marcus and Ned, 2 of my colleagues on Football League World this morning. Marcus, how are you getting on?
Yeah, really well, thanks, Sam. A reduced fixture list in the EFL this weekend, but no less excitement. I'm sure we're going to get plenty of drama as always. So excited to get into this betting show.
Brilliant. And Ned, how you getting on?
Yeah, well, good. Thanks, mate. Feeling sort of rejuvenated and refreshed after our little international break on Football League World TV. But as Marcus says, a reduced fixture list always makes things maybe a little bit more difficult, but it's sometimes quite nice to have to be that bit more creative to try and find the good value.
Yeah, absolutely. 6 games in League One this weekend, 11 games in League Two. So it is a reduced fixture list, but like we said, lots to get stuck into. We are broadcasting live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So get yourself in the comments. Have you got any bets this weekend? If you do, we'll get them up on screen and we will discuss them. Just a reminder, please do gamble responsibly, 18 and over. Right, let's start off with the bankers of the weekend. Okay, Marcus, we'll start off with you. Have you found a banker in the EFL this weekend?
I'd like to think so. I'm happy to take quite a short price on Sheffield Wednesday to beat Cheltenham Town at home. The Owls have drawn their last 2 matches, dropping points against Accrington Stanley and Gillingham, which we didn't really expect. But that almost just puts more motivation going into this fixture that they can't afford to drop points again. It is a must-win game for Darren Moore's side as they chase down the playoffs. They have been one of the better teams in the league since the turn of the year. I feel like if the market was kind of pricing this matchup, given the way Sheffield Wednesday performed since January, then there would be a lot shorter price. One of the big factors that sees me so confident in the Owls getting the win this weekend is that they've had 3 extra days to recover because Cheltenham Town played in midweek, Sheffield Wednesday didn't. They've also got the luxury of a bigger squad and also the nature of that match in midweek. Cheltenham, the grueling, sort of unenviable midweek trip all the way to Plymouth, Argyle. They lost 2-0 and yeah, the travel time that's going to take, I doubt they were able to train on Wednesday as well. So significantly less time to prepare. Kian Etete and Dan and Lundulu, the 2 Premier League loanees at Cheltenham strikers, are injured, so that they won't be available for this matchup. So that decreases the Robins' strength in the final third. They've also only won 3 away league games all season, which is quite interesting considering that they're 12th in the table, and just shows how important their form at the Johnny Rock Stadium has been. So I'm pretty confident in Sheffield Wednesday this weekend. A couple of disappointing results, but performances have still been there. The 1-1 draw against Accrington Stanley at home last time out at the Hillsborough for the Owls was a match that they really should have won, and I just think those dropping 4 points in their last 2 matches will just make them even more hungry against Cheltenham's side that have nothing to play for. So I'm very happy to take Sheffield Wednesday to win, and that's at 8-13, just above 1.6.
Okay, 8-13. Obviously, Sheffield Wednesday very much in the hunt for the playoffs in League One. So this will be viewed as a big game for them tomorrow. Ned, what is your banker this weekend?
I've gone for Bradford against Newport County. Both teams to score. Bradford and Newport among the highest BTTS teams in League Two. Bradford 61% of their games and Newport 58%. 16 goals, 7-4, 9 against in Bradford in their last 6 games, and 19 in Newport's last 6 games. And I think this, we're going to get goals in this game for me. And 2 wins in the last 3 for Bradford as Mark Hughes sort of begins to work things there, and Newport obviously sort of higher up in the table and pushing for promotion this season. Obviously going to fancy themselves, but I think goals for both sides, and obviously Newport with Dom Telford, that they'll be looking to sort of get back to winning ways after the defeat to Hartlepool Town. But that was a high scorer, 3-2, and I just get the feeling that we're going to see a few goals in this. So I think 5-6 is good value in that sense.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. I could see that one definitely coming in. That could be a nice double there, actually. Sheffield Wednesday, your banker, Marcus, and Ned's banker of Bradford and Newport, both teams to score. Let us know in the comments what you think of Marcus and Ned's bankers in the EFL this weekend. Do you think they've got a good chance of coming in? And do you have a banker yourself? Let us know in the comments. We really do want to hear from you. Right, let's look at the accumulators next. Okay, Marcus, let's start off with you then. What is your accumulator for this weekend?
So I've gone for a threefold in League One. This one would come in at just over 16 to 5, 4.22 to 1. So I'm inserting my banker into this threefold Sheffield Wednesday to win home to Cheltenham. And I've got two unders bets. So this one could get potentially a little bit nervy, but two under 2.5 goal selections, and that's in Doncaster Rovers versus Charlton Athletic and Ipswich Town against Plymouth Argyle. To start at the Keep Moat Stadium, Charlton going there with 3 clean sheets in their last 4 games. Also, 5 of their last 6 have seen under 2.5 goals, and that one exception to that rule, the one of the 6 that went over 2.5 goals, did contain just 3 goals. So it hasn't been very goal-laden with Charlton of late. Donny have created just 0.75 expected goals for on average per game over their last 9 matches. So really struggling in front of goal, and that should play into Charlton's hands, considering that they have been able to keep 3 out of 3 clean sheets in their last 4 games. There's also some injuries for Rovers at the top of the pitch. Kieran Agard's out, John Taylor, Mipo Odebeko is on international duty as well, Republic of Ireland under 21s. As for Charlton, Corey Blackett-Taylor's a doubt, and he has really been that spark in the final third in the last few weeks, seeing their results pick up a little bit. Also, Jayden Stockley has returned and has helped produce the upturn in form that we've seen, but he hasn't scored from open play. Just 1 penalty he scored in his last 6 league starts for the Addicts. So, yeah, nothing about either team screams goals. Donny drew 0-0 last weekend at Fleetwood. That'll possibly be a base for them to try and be solid against Charlton. So, yeah, I do think this looks like a tight affair and a low-scoring one at that. Johnny Jackson has been keen to shore up the defence ever since he really came in. There hasn't been too many high-scoring matches where Charlton have really made things comfortable for themselves. Typically, the majority of their wins have come alongside a clean sheet. So, yeah, this will keep a 1-0, 0-0, 1-0, 2-0 on the side. The second one, Ipswich Plymouth. I'm a little bit nervous about this one more than the other one, just because of how much it jumps out to me as an unders banker. You can never feel too comfortable in the EFL, but I've got to go with the form. Plymouth have kept 6 clean sheets in a row and won their last 6 without conceding a goal. And Ipswich, of course, have only conceded 2 goals in their last 10 games, so 8 clean sheets in 10 for the Tractor Boys. I think the relentless schedule that Argyle have seen in the last month or so could catch up with them. They might not be able to be just as enterprising going forward at Portman Road, where, of course, Ipswich have been very strong under Kieran McKenna, but it has been their defensive solidity that stood out. So I think, yeah, the strength of these 2 defences and potentially Plymouth definitely seeing a point as a good result. I think Ipswich are the chasers. Plymouth are in a strong position. So I think they can go there confident after shutting out the opposition 6 times in a row, that they can at least stop Ipswich really getting ahead in the game. So that's Sheffield Wednesday to win. Donny Charlton under 2.5, Ipswich Plymouth under 2.5, and that's at 16 to 5.
Nice. Yeah, I like that one, I've got to say as well. Big fan. Let us know in the comments what you make of Marcus's treble there. Ned, what is your accumulator this weekend?
Well, I've got a treble as well. Obviously, starting with my banker at Bradford, Newport, both teams to score. I'm sorry, I've got a 4-fold rather, not a treble. Port Vale to beat Sutton. I think, you know, a 0-0 draw last week, but Port Vale 3 wins and 4 as they chase the playoffs, and I think they'll have too much for a Sutton side that they've started a little of late. Obviously, that win against Oldham, but that was their first in that's 1 win in 4 games for them. And then Exeter to beat Stevenage in form. Grecians have got 11 points from their last 5 games, and they take on a Stevenage team with just 2 from their last 6. So I can only really see this going one way. And then finally, Leyton Orient to beat Barrow. We were talking sort of before we came on. I was at Brisbane Road last weekend, and Orient, after a difficult first half against Rochdale, really turned it on in the second half. Picked up the first win under Richie Wellens, their first win in 102 days. And I just feel like they're going to sort of keep that momentum rolling, and perhaps it will be too soon for Phil Brown to really been able to have an impact on that Barrow side. So that's Leyton Orient to beat Barrow, Exeter to beat Stevenage, Port Vale to beat Sutton, and Bradford, Newport, both teams to score at 11.21 to 1.
Okay, like it. There we go. Let us know in the comments what we make of Ned's accumulator there. Right, just a reminder, please do gamble responsibly, 18 and over. We've got 2 more selections coming up for you next, the value bet and the wild card. Let's start off with the value bet. Marcus, have you found any value this weekend?
I'm going to take a little bit of value, I think, in Bristol Rovers at Carlisle United. I wouldn't persuade anyone off backing Bristol Rovers for the straight win. I think that's about 2.4, but I'm going to take the draw no bet. That's at 20 to 27 or 1.74. Rovers 12 wins, 4 draws and just 2 losses in their last 18 games. They're now only outside the top 3 on goal difference, an incredible turnaround in the last few months. So for them to be such a big price going away to a side that's been battling towards the bottom end of the table for the majority of the season, I think is an opportunity to get on some value. That said, Carlisle United have won 5 of their last 6 games. Paul Simpson has had an unbelievable impact with the Cumbrians. 4 of those 5 wins have come by a single goal, so maybe a little bit of jeopardy there. And personally, I do think they're running a little bit hot, which is where I sort of see this opportunity coming from. They've conceded just 5 goals from 8.83 expected goals against in the run since Simpson took over. So for me, that's not too sustainable. And they're against Bristol Rovers side, of course, that is firing on all cylinders. A very good, impressive win at Northampton Town last week and putting themselves right in the mix for automatic promotion. Carlisle also, you wonder about motivation considering the run. They are 12 points clear of the relegation zone now, given the impact of Simpson's impact in the dugouts. So with that said, 12-point cushion on the bottom 2. I think that Carlisle will take their foot off the gas. How's that for a Friday morning?
Lovely. Look at that. You've been waiting for that all week. Love it. Nice. There we go. Marcus going for draw no bet there. Bristol Rovers in that one. Obviously, Joey Barton's men in very good form. Carlisle are as well, though. So that should be an interesting one. Ned, what is your value bet? Have you got any puns as well? Or not?
No puns, sadly, puns. Sam.
Okay, yeah.
But my value bets sort of come out of me making the mistakes that sort of hopefully our viewers don't have to. I've learned the hard way this season that you should never bet against Accrington Stanley at home. So I've got them to beat Gillingham. I mean, they may be mid-table, but unbeaten in their last 6 overs, 14 points from 6 games, and as I've said, a team that I've certainly learned not to bet against. I mean, I know Gillingham, perhaps Marcus's argument there about motivation for Carlisle and a lack of it for Carlisle could come in the same thing. Gillingham got more to play for, perhaps, but I just as soon as I saw this, I had the feeling that really it was the time for me to sort of make up for the mistakes I'd made in the past. So at 8 to 11, I've got Accrington to beat Gillingham.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, like you say, Accrington have let me down many a time. In particular, their draw they got at Sheffield Wednesday the other week, that really did let me down big time. But there we go. Ned going for Accrington Stanley there to beat the Gills. Right, let's look at the wildcard bets next. Okay, for any new viewers, the wildcard bet is a bet that's a little bit left field. Marcus, let's get your wildcard bet then.
So scouring for a bigger price, I've kind of gone with the side that I see being most dominant this weekend. And that is with my banker, Sheffield Wednesday, to beat Cheltenham Town. I could see them possibly making this scoreline pretty comfortable. They beat Cambridge United just 2 home games ago, 6-0 scoreline. So I've gone for Shay Dunkley to score any time at 9 to 1. He scored 2 goals this season, 2 back post headers from Barry Bannon corners. He also scored in the reverse fixture at the Johnny Rock Stadium. And he's got a bit of pedigree for being a goal-scoring centre-back. In 2017-18, he scored 7 goals for Wigan, 7 league goals. And then in 2019-20, 6 goals in the league also for the Latins. So he's dangerous from set pieces. And I can see Wednesday getting plenty of set-piece opportunities in this game because of how dominant I expect them to be. Bannon's got to be one of the best dead ball deliverers in League One, and I think Dunkley came back into the side, kept a clean sheet at Gillingham in the 0-0 draw, so I would hope for him to keep his place. If you use Bet365, you can, and if you back an anytime goal scorer, you can void the bet if they don't start, so your money is returned. So just in case, maybe Dominic Iorfa comes back in and Dunkley's picked up a niggle in training, anything like that, then you're not going to lose out. But yeah, I think possibly that's where I look for value. I think in the wildcard, I think a goal scorer better against a team that I expect to score plenty of goals. So yeah, hopefully Dunkley can get first contact on a couple of Bannon crosses. That's 9-1. Shea Dunkley to score any time this weekend's wildcard.
Nice, like that. I suppose that could fall under both the value bet and the wildcard category this week. Shea Dunkley to score any time for Sheffield Wednesday against Cheltenham this Saturday. 9-1. There we go. Ned, let's get your wildcard bet.
I've gone for a goal scorer bet as well. I'll be at the Orient game on Saturday for Football League World, and Rourke has just been a bit of a revelation in recent weeks for Orient. 5 goals, 1 assist in his last 6, and certainly the catalyst last week. While sort of Paul Smith's wonder strike took a lot of the headlines, he was the catalyst. He created the space for that one, and I could see him being a key player again. I think he'll be back in the goals. He's 2-1 to score any time, but if you add Orient to win on that, it's 10-3, and that's what I'll be going for.
Okay, yeah, like that. He is, of course, in very good form of late. Like I say, 5 goals and 1 assist is a very, very good return from the forward. Well, there we go. That is Marcus and Ned's wildcard bets for this weekend, and that is the end of the betting show this morning. Thanks everyone for tuning in and watching. Just final reminder, please do gamble responsibly. 18 and over. That's not it though from Football League World TV today at 2:30. Today we've got the EFL weekend preview show. George Douglas at the wheel for that one. They're going to be running through all the main games in League One and League Two this weekend. Just a final plug, if you haven't seen it already, please do check out our exclusive quiz we did with AFC Bournemouth duo Dom Solanke and Lloyd Kelly. We tested their AFC Bournemouth knowledge. Yes, definitely a good watch, and make sure to check that out. We've also got another quiz coming up with 2 Coventry City players, Matty Godden and Martin Waghorn. We're going to be speaking to next week. So lots of exciting content coming up here on Football League World TV. Please do subscribe to the channel if you don't already. And if you can, please do like this video. Marcus, Ned, thanks for joining me this morning, and we shall see you all soon.